Hello, folks. Welcome to today's football predictions of best price. Another very beautiful day, and again, once again, we are back with our predictions right on this very channel. All right, and you know, when we look at football games that are going on across the globe, and also look at the stats for each of these teams. Using those stats, we will always come up with the verdict for each of those matches that are going on, and that's exactly what we're going to do today. And we had a very good outing yesterday, on our VIP group. Three games we had there yesterday, so success. And I want to congratulate those of us who took part of that very game yesterday. And I also want to urge you, if you're not joined the VIP's special membership group, take our time to find a look at around the video, and anywhere you see join, or you can check out the description of this very video. You will always find the link that will give you access to our VIP membership, all right, with a little token, all right, okay, but I always put up games that I believe that are, closer to coming up correctly on that VIP membership group, all right. Do endeavor to join, and without further ado, we head to the business of today. And today we have our games lined up. We're looking at this match one after the other. And the first match we had for you today is in the Norwegian Division 3, Group 3, where we have Bjørkelangen coming up against the Gjøvik-Lyn. All right. When you look at the stats for each of these matches, you can see that the home side, have had 2 wins and 4 losses, and the away side, Gjøvik-Lyn also have had 4 wins, a draw, as well as 1 loss in the last 6 matches that they had. When you look at how the two teams fared, from home and away perspective, you see that the home side have managed 4 victories and 6 losses, and the away side, on the other hand, the last 10 away matches that they had, I've seen 3 wins and 3 draws, but I've also lost 4 matches out of the last 6 games. All right, and also the home side in the last 10 home games that they had have produced over 2.58 times out of 10, and you can see that the last for our away side, also the last away game they had on the scoring of 3 goals, to be scoring, averaging 2 goals per away game. That's for the away side. So that tells that this two side scores as well as conceded also. And in this very encounter, we are definitely going with even though the last meeting between them, so the Gjøvik-Lyn winning from home on that occasion. But here we are going with a lot of goals to occur here, minimum of 3 goals in this very encounter. So it is an over 2.5. That's providing for that very encounter. All right, that takes us to the next game. Also in the same Division 3 in Norway, where we have KFUM2 who will be up against Frigg. All right, when you look at the stats, KFUM side have won just 2 matches and they draw. They've lost 3 games, and the West side Frigg winning 4 matches out of the last 6 matches. They've also had 2 losses, out of those 6 games that they had so far. All right, when you take a look at performances from home and away basis, all right, the upside, KFUM winning 2 matches and drawing 5 games in the last 10 home matches. They've also lost 3 matches out of those, and the West side Frigg, on the other hand, have won a lot of matches. They've actually won 6 games in the last 10 away matches. They've had 2 draws as well as 2 losses in the last 10 away matches that they have. So for that tells you that Frigg have been in fine form recent times, and on head-to-head basis, the last time both teams met, it was Frigg who won on that very question by 2 goals to 1. Although they played from home, and prior to that we saw them playing at the 3-3 draw, and which also before that we also saw Frigg beating this very side by 6 goals to 0. That tells us that these two sides, each time they meet each other, they actually produce lots of goals. So also we'll be going with lots of goals in this very one, and it's a minimum of 3 goals to score in this very encounter, and that is over 2.5. Just value for that very one. All right, and we head to the next for today. It is also in the same Norway, but now Norway Cup, Norwegian Cup, will have Lillestrøm will be up against Kristiansund. And when we look at the stats for each of these sides, we see for Lillestrøm, it is 3 victories in the last 6 matches, as well as 3 draws. And we said Kristiansund have 1 victory, 3 draws, as well as 2 losses in the last 6 games that they have so far. All right, when you look at how they fared from home and away basis, you see Lillestrøm, the home side, have had 7 victories and 3 draws in the last 10 home appearances. They've not lost a single match playing from home. And Kristiansund, on the other hand, have actually done very well, winning 6 games in the last 10 away matches. They've had 3 draws as well as 1 single loss in the last 10 away matches. Okay, and on head-to-head basis, it was Kristiansund who actually won the last time both teams met. Although they played home and they won on that very occasion, that was last year, August, by 2 goals to 1 against Lillestrøm. And prior to that, we also saw them beating Lillestrøm from away by 3 goals to 2. All right, that tells you a lot about this very two side. And here we are going for, the home side to either win or draw, and we're not going to see a lot of goals. So home win or draw and under 4.5. That's what value for this very encounter. Okay, and it takes us to the next, which I'm going to be the last one today. It is in Finland Waikonen division, where we have KäPa will be up against PK 35. All right, when we look at the stats for these two sides, we see that KäPa have won just one match in the last 6 games. They've also had a draw and they've lost 4 games out of the last 6 recent matches that they have so far. And PK 35, the away side, winning 2 matches and a draw, and also losing 3 games in the last 6 recent matches that they have so far. All right, when you take a look at how these two teams fared from home and away perspective, you could say KäPa, the home side, have actually had 2 wins and 2 draws. Also, they've lost 6 matches. But away side, PK 35, have actually won 4 matches from away. They've also had 4 draws and 2 losses. They've been doing very well. Performances from home for the home side, for the away side, when they played from home, they actually had 7 victories in the last 10 home matches. That tells you that this side have been doing very well at recent times. Meanwhile, the home side in this very match, KäPa only had 2 wins when playing from home, and they've lost lots of matches. All right, so the last time both teams met, it was KäPa who actually won against this very side. That was in May. It was PK 35 who actually won, not KäPa. So PK 35 won by 4 goals to 2 against this very side, and they won the previous meeting before that very one. So it has always been PK 35 who have dominated the meetings between the two sides. Actually, from the last 7 meetings between the two sides, PK 35 won 6 times out of 7, and the other one being a draw. So there's not been a time KäPa actually won against this very side in recent time. So we do expect the away side PK 35 to rally around and win in this very encounter. So it is away side to win out shortly. That's what I'm fighting for, that very encounter. All right, and all right, that will bring our predictions for you today on Betcraft to a conclusion. All right, and remember the rest of the games that we have for you today will be on our VIP special group, where we're putting out games that we believe to be, better, in terms of the outcome. All right, coming out successfully. All right, I will put in those games there. All right, do endeavor to join also. Do not miss out on those very ones. All right, remember to play responsibly, as some football matches sometimes may not be exactly what it presents. Sometimes, some other factors might come in. Factors like red card and other things that could come in and change the outcome that is expected of these very matches. So that being said, bear that in mind, play with what you can afford to lose. All right, tomorrow is another day. Definitely be back with our predictions right on this very channel. Do not miss out. Until that time, keep winning.